to this tutorial that will show you how to create triggers, which are the core of the system. They are what generates the tasks which prompt you to call, email, or text your congregants. Go ahead and log in and go to under setting, go to triggers. When you go to triggers, you'll basically receive a list with all the triggers that we have, about 100 triggers that we've already created for you. Triggers we know that work from our experience and other rabbis' experiences. And what you could do, you could either activate triggers that already exist or you could add new triggers. You don't want to treat all the triggers at once. You want to go topic by topic. Let's start with birthday. We've created two triggers for you. One is on the day of the birthday. So on the day, every trigger has a before or an after. And if you want it on the day, it has to be 0 days before. You don't have to remember that. And this is the only thing you need to remember. Um, 0 days before. And here's the message, happy birthday, so and so, Yom Holedet Sameach. You could see the entire message, and it's assigned to the rabbi. Let's say that you like this message. You just want to edit it a bit. You could actually go to where it says edit over here. And let's say you'll change your name, and you'll change something else over here. And eventually you'll activate it. And now this trigger starts working. Remember, look at all the triggers that we've prepared for you. And for example, some people want to call a person or to text 7 days before and invite them to come to Kiddush a week from now. And so you have the ability to either use the ones that we already give you just by activating them or creating an entire new one. For example, let's go to chronic illness. This is where we have a lot of triggers, as you could see, to stay in touch 14 days after and 7 days after. This is the cantor that stays in touch, the rabbi that stays in touch 21 days. You can decide that 1 month after you have a home visit, and so and so and so. And what is really beautiful here is that you can create triggers that actually also refer not to the person that has the chronic illness, but let's say you want to check with the caregiver, and you have nothing over here that you like or nothing about the caregiver. So I'll go to add new, and I'm going to write after. The event type is chronic illness, and we want to do 6 months after, and we want to call. And this is a calling, just to remind you, caregiver to check in. Okay? And so here we are. You're going to assign it to yourself. You can assign it to any person you want. And you're not going to call the person. You're actually going to call their spouse. And you're going to activate it. And so you created a whole new trigger on your own. So the idea over here is to go trigger by trigger and to check what you like, what you don't like, adding new triggers, and deleting triggers that you don't need. One thing to remember is in death in the family, and you'll see it over here. There are triggers that are after. This is when somebody in your congregation loses a dear one and you want to stay in touch after a day, 2, 4 days, 7 days. You want to call on Shloshim. But there's also one trigger that is before. It's the last one over here. And before means the yahrzeit, because we obviously don't know when somebody passed away. So when there's a trigger that says 0 days before, that means on the day of the yahrzeit. If it were 7 days before, it would be a week before the yahrzeit. So let's say I want to invite people 30 days before, a month before their yahrzeit, remind them that yahrzeit is coming up. And what I could do is that I could actually go to this, either write a new one, or I could actually just duplicate this. And rather than 0 days before, I'll write 30 days before. And event type is death in the family, of course. Action type, I want to call, and I want to remind them Yahrzeit is next month, and maybe talk about an unveiling or whatnot. Again, it's to the rabbi, and obviously it's to the person. Activate and save. This is how you create triggers. Please don't hesitate to call us if you have any questions. I hope this was beneficial. Shalom v'lehitraot.